Hello friends, today I am going to discuss about how to Dockerize Spring Boot with MongoDB, as well as I am going to discuss about Docker Compose also. So first of all, I am going to integrate Spring Boot with MongoDB and I am going to deploy in my local system. Okay, so to do this, we need Spring Boot starter data MongoDB in the pom.xml. And once this dependency added in the pom.xml, you should write one repository. That repository should extend Mongo repository. It's like a JPA repository, so we have to provide the model and the type of the ID. So the JPA repository will contains like all the methods, right? So it's like JPA repository, the Mongo repository will also contains like all the methods like save, find all, find by ID or delete by ID. So this kind of methods will available inside this Mongo repository. And after that, you have to write one controller. In this controller, you have to write your business logic related methods. So I have added few methods here. So add employee, find all employees, find by employee, delete by employee. Okay, delete employee by ID. Okay, this kind of methods I have added in this controller. Okay, and after that, in the properties file, so you have to add MongoDB properties. So spring data.mongodb.host localhost, I'm going to use this localhost, and this port is 27017. This is a default port, so I'm going to use employee database. Okay, once you have added this application.properties, so you have to start Spring Boot application. So in the meantime, I'm going to check Mongo database version. Okay, so I'm using this 4.2.3 version. Okay, so I have to go to this Mongo shell. Okay, we have to type Mongo to go to this Mongo shell, and after that hit the show dbs. So we don't have employee database here, so let's start this. And so we have add employee method. So in that method, I'm going to, this is a post method. I am passing the data, ID, name and department. Okay, when I hit send button, so employee added successfully and the ID is 12. So let's check the database. See, employees came, so use employee. Okay, show collections, I'm going to see the collections, and after that db dot employee find method and pretty, hit enter. See, successfully added to this employee collection. Okay, and so I'm going to check one more method, that is delete employee. I'm going to delete this one, employee is 12. Let the type is get, and let's hit send button. So it is deleted successfully. Let's check the database. See, nothing is there. Okay, and after that I'm going to Dockerize this Spring Boot with MongoDB. So to do this, we need to create one Docker file. So in this Docker file, we have to mention whatever the JDK you are using. I'm using JDK 11 here. That is a reason I have mentioned. Okay, JDK 11, and after that, so this Spring Boot MongoDB jar is available in the target folder, and the entry point is java jar app.jar. Okay, and after that, let's stop this server, not required. So you have to Dockerize this application. To do this, so let's exit this, not required, clear the console. So docker pull mongo. So this is how we have to pull the Mongo database in the Docker container. So I'm going to use latest Mongo database. That is the reason I have mentioned this version. So if you want to use like something like related to 4 point something version, so you can mention here instead of latest. Okay, and once you hit enter, so it will download this Mongo database in this Docker container. Okay, I already I already downloaded this Mongo database in my Docker container. That is the reason it doesn't take much time. So let's see. So here we have Mongo and the tag name is latest. Okay, and after that we have to start this Mongo database. To do this, we need to run one command, docker run. Okay, I'm going to start in the detached mode, and the port number is 80. Sorry, so the default port number is 27017, and I'm going to map with 27017. Okay, and after that I'm going to name this my MongoDB and my MongoDB and the tag name is Mongo, right? Mongo, that is image name is Mongo and the tag name is latest. Okay, so let's hit enter button. Let's see. So it has to be start this. It's supposed to start, but it is giving some error. So why it is giving error means 27017 is already in use. And locally I am using the same port number in my local system. So that is the reason it is unable to start with 27017. So let's see. Service MongoD status. So 2707. Okay, with 27017 it is actively running in my local system. I'm going to stop this by using this command. Okay, it is asking password. Let's kill this. So again let's check the status. See here, so stopped MongoDB database server in my local system. Now I'm going to hit again this button. I think earlier it has been started, that is the reason it is showing already this container has been started. Now I'm going to remove this container ID and I have to start freshly. So to do this, okay, now let's check. Okay, start again. Now it is started successfully. Docker ps. See here. So now the Mongo database has been started in Docker container. Okay, so here the image name is Mongo latest, and after that the container name is my MongoDB. This is the container ID. So it is started, okay, 7 seconds ago. So now I am going to create this Spring Boot Docker container. So to do this, I am going to copy this path. So whatever the Docker file is available, we have to copy the Docker path, the Docker file path. So I'm going to build this Docker build. The tag name is Spring Boot MongoDB. Okay, I'm going to give this Spring Boot MongoDB tag name, and the version number is 1.0. Let's enter Docker build Spring Boot MongoDB. Okay, sorry, so this is not colon. So yeah, the current directory, I am going to use this current directory. See, so Docker images. So Spring Boot MongoDB has been created. This image has been created. Now I have to build the container. Docker run, okay, -p minus p port number 8080. So I'm going to map to 8080, and after that I'm going to give this name as name spring boot MongoDB. Okay, and I'm going to link with MongoDB. So earlier, like I have started the MongoDB container, right? So I have to link with that container. So to do this, I'm going to give that name. So link my MongoDB. Okay, and the image name is Mongo, right? Mongo. And so I'm going to start in detached mode. Detached spring boot MongoDB, and the version is 1.0. okay, so this command is very simple. Docker run, okay, minus p port number 8080. so here 0 is missed. Okay, I am going to map with 8080 only, and the name is spring boot MongoDB, and I am going to link this container with MongoDB container. So earlier we have started, right? So that MongoDB container name is my MongoDB, and the image name is my Mongo, and I'm going to start with detached mode and spring boot MongoDB 1.0, the image name. So let's enter. Let's see. So it is successfully started. Let's check with docker ps command. So we have two containers here. So one is MongoDB container, okay, so that is using Mongo latest image, and another one is spring boot MongoDB. So this spring boot MongoDB. Okay, let's check the logs whether it has been successfully started or not. Docker logs. I'm going to check this spring boot. Okay, enter. So it is successfully started. Okay, now let's go to this postman and try to insert some data. So I'm using the earlier post mapping, same post mapping. So before I'm going to insert this, so I'm going to check the Mongo database console. So what I'm going to do is, so yeah, so we have one command, that is docker execute integrated terminal. Okay, so it and my MongoDB bash. Okay, and to go to this Mongo shell, we have to type Mongo. See, show dbs. Okay, nothing is there, so employee is not there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hit this URL. So it is successfully added. Okay, see here, it is successfully added, and show collections. Okay, and so db dot show collections is not coming. Okay, we have to use the employee database, and after that show employee. Sorry, use employee, right? Show collections. Employee is there. db dot find dot pretty. So db dot employee dot find dot pretty. So data has been successfully inserted into the database. So it is working fine. And so instead of starting two commands, so I'm going to use docker compose. So I'm going to use simple docker yaml file. Okay, so let's stop this. Let's clear this console, not required. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one docker compose file. What is the use of docker container? The docker container will the docker compose. So the docker compose will start multiple containers at a time, so by using docker compose. So I'm going to create one file. So docker compose, sorry, it has to be renamed. New other file, right? So I'm going to create docker compose.yaml. Okay, in this yaml file, so we have to add services, whatever that services we are going to use, that services we have to mention in this yaml file. Okay, the services and the service image we are going to define here. So I'm going to use my MongoDB, the image name image, okay, image is Mongo, right? Mongo, and latest tag name, and after that container name, so that container name my MongoDB. Okay, and the ports we have to mention that ports also. So 27017, I'm going to map with 27017. Okay, and after that, so we have to give another service. That service is Spring Boot MongoDB. So here also we have to provide image name. Okay, that image name Spring Boot MongoDB, right? And the version is 1.0. and after that container name, so you want to give some container name Spring Boot MongoDB, and ports 80 sorry 8080. Okay, and after that I have to link with my MongoDB container. Okay, so that's it. Ports, container name Spring Boot, and so we have to mention the Docker Compose version. Okay, I'm going to use 3. So it is throwing some error here. think okay. So successfully created this docker compose file, YAML file. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just run one command, so instead of two commands. So let's check. So we have two containers, right? I'm going to kill this docker kill, copy, paste. Okay, I'm going to remove this and so kill another container, that is MongoDB container. Okay, let's remove this. Okay, let's run another command. Yeah, so we have to go to this location, this docker compose location. So let's copy this path, okay, paste. So now let's enter docker compose up and hit enter. So can't find suitable configuration file in this directory or any parent. Are you in the right directory? Docker compose.yaml, supported file names docker.yaml, docker compose.yaml, right? Source main resources. Yeah, I'm in the right directory, right? Docker compose. One second. So ls-l, okay. So docker compose version, okay, docker compose version, docker compose docker compose what's wrong with this? Let's clear this. Okay, so let me copy this, copy. I'm going to rename this. Okay, I think I forgot. Yeah, I did mistake. The file of the name is wrong. I'm going to rename this. Okay, docker compose. Okay, now let's rerun this. Invalid because spring services.spring boot MongoDB links contains invalid type. It should be an array. Spring boot MongoDB dot links. Yeah, it's creating now. So first of all, it is creating MongoDB container. After that, it is creating Spring Boot MongoDB container. Okay, so it is started successfully. Okay, so now let's run this. See, successfully added. So okay, thanks for watching my video. So please do like and subscribe my video. So thank you, thanks.